For the log that you had on your back when you were doing the stairs, was that something you actually did ever as real training, or was that just for the movie?
No, I never did a log in real training. We did the carries, where we put a wrestler on our back and carried them up steps or up, up an incline. But that was specifically designed for the movie. The log was actually lightened to some degree, so it wasn't like the full weight of a log. But I did carry a log about 2 years ago into a gala event. We're raising money in Los Angeles for USA Wrestling, and it was auctioned off. Randy Couture bought it, and so all that money went into U.S. Wrestling. And thank you to Randy Couture, big supporter of wrestling, amateur wrestling, and collegiate wrestling. So got to throw one out there to him.
Tell them the story about when they made you cut the weight for the movie, like what you weighed. And I thought that was pretty crazy. When we first met, I think they told you had to lose 20 pounds, and if you went over the weight, they weren't going to use you or something along the story when you first got the part.
Yeah, so what AJ is referring to is that I got cast in the movie. I originally weighed 215 pounds. They were 2.5 weeks out from starting to film my character in different roles in the scenes in the movie. And so they asked me to really to cut weight so that I could look close to Matthew's size. And so I basically dropped 25 pounds in 2.5 weeks. And I was at 4% body fat, and I held that for the 10 weeks that we did the shooting in Spokane. So I sucked down hard, cut hard, and it's not the way I would want any wrestler to do that, but you can do it if you have to.
And by the way, I have the DVD of Vision Quest.
Wow.
You're not even on the back. Were you disappointed in this?
I had no acting experience. I did not have an agent. I was lucky to get the role. It was like 1,000,000 to 1. Who knew? I was an athletic trainer at Eastern Washington. This wasn't something I had planned in my future at all. I was going to be a physical therapist, and I was going to be a bodybuilder. That was my trajectory at the time. So this was a completely shift over, and all I wanted to do was just do a good job, get paid so I could pay for my schooling and continue on with my life. So did I really care? No. But as an actor now, it's kind of like, well, that would have been nice, give me some recognition.
Did you expect that it was going to be this cult classic movie that pretty much all amateur wrestlers have seen 1,000,000 times?
I had no idea where this was going to go. And the fact that it's still around 37 years later, and there's just new generations that are getting exposed to the movie. And I'm always surprised when the parents say, like, hey, my kids just love this movie, and we're showing it right before districts or right before state. And I just got a text from Rulon Gardner that said that he watched it right before his gold medal match, the one that he won in the Olympics, and that he watched it before every state match that he wrestled when he was younger.
And for anyone that hasn't seen Frank with the log, there's a screenshot from Vision Quest. And how was it working with the cast for that movie and doing the wrestling scene?
Hey, listen, it was a top level project, and Harold Becker was at the helm. What an amazing director. He's passed, unfortunately. But it was just such a cool experience for me. I'd never been on a movie set, and the actors were, really professional. I didn't actually spend hardly any time with the actors, especially Matthew. I actually never spoke with him. The only time I had any interaction with Matthew was on the set, and we were doing lines, in front of the camera, and we didn't do any rehearsals. So it was all what we brought to that moment. But it was just, like I said, it was just an incredible experience. I just can't, tell you how fun it was, especially when we did the final match, and there was over 1,500 extras. So it actually felt very realistic to some degree. Everybody was screaming and yelling. And it's like, you've got to come out with your best stuff and make it look as real as possible.
Was it actually recorded in Washington?
So we shot for 10 weeks, most of it around Spokane area. One of the log scene was in Joe Albi Stadium. A lot of the schools we used were local schools. All the wrestlers that you see that are in Matthew's team are all local guys, local wrestlers, some of them state champions. You know, it's just packed full of local wrestlers that got to be in this film as well. So then after 10 weeks, 3 months went by, and then we shot 2 scenes in LA. And then another 3 months went by, and then we flew back. I flew back to LA again, and shot another scene for another week. So it mostly was shot in Spokane area, and then some of it was shot in LA.